Hello everyone, this is another marketing moment with Maggie May. I am Maggie May and I am a digital marketer based out of the Okanagan in British Columbia, Canada. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about why people don't buy what you sell. This is kind of like the big elephant in the room, so to speak, that can happen regardless of what industry you're in. But especially if you're making like sales calls and actually talking to people, sometimes you can hit a wall and saying, why are people not buying what I'm offering? And I'm going to go through 5 elements of making the sale that could be contributing to why you're not actually closing the sale today. So, regardless of how good you are with selling, you will never ever have a 100% success rate. But when you're regularly losing deals that you should have been closing, then it's time to investigate what's going wrong, right? The hard work should be done before you actually start selling, so that when you hit a roadblock in the sales process, you know how to fix it. It takes time and to do some research and some hard work up front regarding who you're selling to, but it's totally worth it, and it makes more sense to spend the time up front than to get stuck in launching your products and services and not know how to deal with this element of the process. So below, these are some broad questions that you should have a clear, defined answer to regardless before you start doing any sales calls. If you don't have answers to these, you can pause, think back, take notes, and get your answer before you actually start selling your products and services. So the first thing may be a little obvious, but it is, why do you sell what you sell? How did you get to where you are today to actually thinking and creating this product or service in order to sell it? So in order to sell any product, it needs to actually be awesome in order for the whole process to work. So it's really important to get your products and services validated, beta groups, that kind of thing, not friends and family, and I'll go into that in a minute, before you begin the sales process. So because this validation process will answer if the product is great and if people will buy, or if there's some weak links and you need to kind of fill in the holes. So some ways of validation is to offer to people to try it for free or give them some demo and ask for their feedback. And this will help you validate your product if it's good enough, and you can collect testimonials from users through a anonymous feedback survey in the process. If your product is not great and you're not excited about it, this is a way you can go back and create a better product. No one will buy a mediocre or bad product, so spend some time and really create a great product or service. Now, never get your friends and family to go through a beta test or through a new product or service or to ask them. And that's because usually they're not your optimal demographic. You want to ask people who you actually want to serve. Don't ask your mom, don't ask your sisters. Chances are they're not your demographic. Go out and find your true demographic, get them to test your product or service, collect testimonials, collect feedback, go from there. So this ties into step number 2. Who are your prospective buyers? You really need to know who your ideal customer is. It's really, really important. Where are they hanging out? What are their pain points? If you're targeting everybody, you're actually end up targeting nobody. Unless you know who your ideal customer avatar is, you're not going to be able to sell your product. Plain and simple. This is an example. If a relationship coach must know that their customer avatar as a 25-year-old girl looking for love and a 52-year-old woman looking for love will have completely different expectations in terms of what they're looking for. Similarly, a health coach should know their customer avatar as a 22-year-old guy and a 45-year-old guy will have completely different goals. One will be looking to build muscle, whereas the other one will be looking to stay fit and healthy. So once you have your ideal customer avatar determined, find out where they actually spend time, which social media platforms are they using, which groups are they in, and this will help you to know your prospects and how to best serve them. Now, if you're looking for a free customer avatar sheet to work through this, if you've never done an exercise like that before, we have a free download on how to actually work through the process of determining your customer avatar and finding more facts about them. And the link will be in the description or the comments below. Step number 3 is, how does your product or service transform your buyer's life? Super, super important. We're not selling a product. We're not selling features or benefits. We're selling the transformation. So in order to effectively market, you need to know how your product or service transforms your buyers' lives. You can make an image grid to show your customers' transformation journey on how their life was before and how it is after. You can and you really should be able to show this transformation. For example, mattress manufacturers will often showcase the befores, the customer not getting a quality sleep, and the after, they will have the great new quality sleep in the new mattress. Prime example for myself, I'm a marketer. Before, my clients are not getting any leads and not making any sales, and afterwards they have so many leads and sales coming in that sometimes they ask me to stop. True story. So that is the transformation that I provide, and that is really important for you when you're going into the sales process to understand, and in all your marketing, how do you actually transform your buyer's life? Really important. Step number 4 is, why should the prospective customer buy from you? As we dive deeper, this is going to become more interesting. For example, you have a great product. You know where your target audience is hanging out. Why will they buy from you versus your other competitors? Chances are you're going to have competitors. You want competitors. If you're going into a market where there are no competitors, it could be that there's actually no market. So having competitors is normal. You want some healthy competitors out there. But you also need to stand out from your competition and position your product and your company in a way that it is unique and it sounds different. What is your unique selling proposition? That is the lingo that you will often hear, is your unique selling proposition. How are you different from other individuals and companies providing the same services as you? You really have to sound like a market authority with some credibility. And in one of our future videos, we'll talk about some ways in which you can gain some instant credibility, but that's really, really important too in the whole process. Why do they buy from you? Why you? The last point that I'm going to make is your offer irresistible? Sometimes by the time we get all the different pieces together, we can forget to make it irresistible. And there's different psychological triggers. Robert Cialdini, I kind of butcher his name all the time. Amazing, amazing psychologist when it comes to marketing. He has 2 books. That's all he is known for, and absolutely amazing. Influence came out in the late 80s, and Persuasion came out a couple years ago. I have both. They're amazing. Read them. He talks about psychological triggers on how to actually position your offer and your product to make it irresistible. Because you can have a great product and you could be sending all sorts of traffic to your website and your product and service, and you can have all sorts of sales calls, discovery calls booked and everything like that. But if you don't have an irresistible offer to actually make people jump at it, they will flop. So how you package your products and make the offer will have a huge impact on your sales. Here are a few things that can make an offer great. If you're selling a high product or service, always offer some monthly payment plans. And that's just because not everybody's going to be carrying around 10 grand in their pocket. That's just the reality of it. Always offer a payment plan. Always offer a discount, especially if they sign up right away. You say, you know what, if you sign up in the next 24 hours, you could save 10%, something like that. How you compensate for that as a business owner is just raise your price up 10% so that your base rate, what you are comfortable with, is what you actually offer with the discount, right? Lots and lots of examples in different industries that do that. You can offer a bonus, and you'll see this a lot of time on sales pages. Like at the very, very bottom of the sales page, you'll have a bonus, something to actually trigger people to actually make that step and say, that's what I want. And I'll give you a little tip on this. The bonus is usually the best part. Whatever your product or service is, make it your best part of it, make it the bonus. That will actually tip people over to actually purchase it. You can always create bundles. People love bundles. They feel like they're getting a discount, a special deal if you combine things. So if you have, like for example, in my industry in marketing, I can offer Google ads, Facebook ads, email marketing, marketing strategy, or I can combine them all, right, at a discount than if you were to purchase each one individually. People love that. Always offer a guarantee or have a return policy regardless of what you're doing, and it just is to build credibility and trust. That's all it is. 99% of the time, no one will ever actually try to redeem the money, and if they did, it'll be like right away, and it'd be like they had a regret, is usually what it is, and they're not your ideal client anyways. But if you offer a guarantee or return policy, you engage in the trust and the authority that you actually stand behind your products. Lastly, always show urgency, and this can go with the discount, right? Always have saying if you want this, it's only good for 30 days, 7 days, whatever it may be. Always offer some urgency with a deadline on when your products will expire. So hopefully you have found these 5 tips and tricks on how to make your sales process a little bit more streamlined, a little bit more solid. Helpful. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, pops them into the comments below. If you ever want to book a free marketing strategy call with me for your own business, regardless of what it is, it could just be generic, like how to set this up, or it could be specific, like, are my Facebook ads working properly? How could I optimize them? I offer those for free. I offer free 30-minute consultations, and you can book them at tribalmarketer.as.me at any time. So hopefully you have found this informative, and until next time, keep trucking.